I turn that on. Now, in the event of a fire, please follow the instructions and directions to the fire exits and make your way to the assembly point adjacent to the Quick Fit building. In the interest of openness and transparency, the law permits recording and photography to report on the proceedings of the council meeting and when they are open to the public. No flash photography or additional lighting should be used without prior consent. Anyone wishing to report on the meeting or anyone not wishing to be filmed or photographed should notify the clerk or chair. The meeting will be live streamed on YouTube. Therefore, please remember to speak clearly and use your microphone, remembering to switch it off when you have finished. As the chair of the meeting, I have the discretion to suspend or terminate the live streaming if, in my opinion, continue to do so would prejudice the proceedings of the meeting. Improper conduct or disruptive behaviour will not be tolerated. Please raise your hands to indicate your wish to speak and wait for me to call upon you. As chair of the meeting, I will determine the order in which members will be invited to speak. To ensure the efficiency of the meeting, no members may speak for more than 3 minutes on one item or more than once. Therefore, please make your point as concisely as possible. Please may I also remind you to be polite and respectful towards one another at all times, and please put your phones on silent mode and put your phones away for the duration of the meeting and adhere to the non-smoking policy of this building and its grounds. So welcome to the allotments meeting. In attendance today you have myself, Councillor Elise Youngman, and Andy Pearce, and we have Betty Jarrod from the Allotments Association. Also clerking for us today is Laura Elliott, the Senior and Committee and Project Clerk, and Taylor Williams, the Committee Clerk and Planning Assistant. 21, to receive and consider approval of apologies for absence.
Just the one. Yes, yeah, Councillor Colby sent apologies with reasons provided.
Andy proposed.
Propose accept, yeah.
Betty second. All in favour? That's everyone. 22, declarations of interest and dispensations. 22.1, to receive declarations of disclosable pecuniary and non-registrable interest and bias of predetermination on the items on this agenda. Andy?
Non-registrable standing declaration on the Town Council rep on the Lowestoft District Allotment Association, but I participate there as a Town Councillor. I'm not a member of the association, and it's a non-voting position, so I have no influence on decision making or anything like that. And I don't actually attend regular meetings because I clash with full council, so I meet Betty outside the monthly meetings.
Okay, thank you. Betty?
I am chairperson of the Lowestoft District Allotment Association.
Thank you. 22.2, to consider written requests for dispensations for interest and note dispensations granted. Well, there's none of them. 23, to consider the draft minutes and confidential note of the meeting on the 20th of August 2025. Andy?
Happy with the confidential note. I've got 3 very minor queries, if I can, on the public minutes. On minute 19, the last paragraph seems to be an action that relates to minute 17. I don't know if there's been some cutting and pasting when the minutes were being drafted, so I think maybe that just needs moving to sit under 17.
So we were discussing item 19. If you're referring to the final paragraph?
Yes.
Yeah, we've discussed item 19 and then you requested to revisit item 17.
Okay, so long as it's not suggesting that action relates to 19.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Happy with that. And then minute 20, paragraph 2, it says further assistance. I think it should be further assistance. And paragraph 3, I think in where there was a request for assistance, I think in one part it mentions table and another part it mentions tablet. I think it was a tablet. So I think if that could just be tweaked. But other than that, those minor tweaks, I propose acceptance of the draft minutes and confidential notes of true and accurate record of that meeting.
Thank you. I will second that. So all in favour? That's all of us. Right, 24, public forum, an opportunity for the public to make comments on any matters on this agenda and to consider any advance comments from the public. We have someone in attendance today, but sorry, I didn't get informed you were coming. See what? That's great, thank you. Did we have anyone on the webinar? No.
Let me check. No one in attendance on the webinar.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
If I have to pen that in Betty's absence.
Okay. 25, to consider any recommendations for the 2026 to 2027 budget. Have we got any recommendations from budget and loan yet, Andy?
Not from budget and loan. I think this is what asking us to sort of get our wish list into budget and loan.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we just, I mean, all the things we've committed to, so like the Muntjac fencing is already budgeted for, capital works. I think it's just establishing between ourselves and Betty and Mark what capital works might be required on the allotments over the next year, and making sure we've got adequate funds in there, because we have a capital budget and a repair and maintenance budget that are dedicated to allotments. So I would suggest that we just ask Betty to liaise with Mark between meetings and perhaps try and define something at the next meeting. But I think in the meantime, if there's no particular planned works and it's just a case of contingency for whatever might arise, I would just propose that, you know, we take a responsible position towards the budget, given the history, you know, legacy works, things that can come out the woodwork, so to speak, and just make sure that we have we take a responsible attitude towards contingency in whatever capital and repair and maintenance we do budget for allotments next year. And I'll make that as a formal recommendation.
Betty?
There will be more Muntjac fencing needed in the future
Okay.
for preventing Muntjacs eating our produce.
Thanks. Andy?
I just asked Betty, what does that mean materially? Because I think we established, don't we, that it was going to be an issue on either 5 or 6 of the sites. Does that mean more sites or just a greater area to be covered on those 5 or 6 sites? Because we had approved the works and the budget on the 5 or 6 sites where Muntjac intrusion was currently a problem. So that should already be in the budget.
There are no extra sites that I'm aware of.
Okay. So if we just keep an eye on that, obviously if you keep talking to Mark and Mark can feedback, you know, because they're going to do the measuring up and give us the cost for the fencing internally. But we had approved a maximum budget for those sites based on initial estimates. So obviously we can if we can ask our staff to take a position from Mark on whether that budget is likely to remain adequate or whether it needs to be revised upwards. And if we could perhaps also ask our staff to speak with Mark and say, look, we're waiting on Betty and perhaps Betty and Mark to come back to us on any planned works that they think might be advisable for 26-27, but because of the history of these sites and the legacy situations, you know, we've already had to subside in embankments and fencing and so on like that. If they could give us an estimate of what they think, this is Mark, a reasonable budget would be, you know, that would be responsible towards whatever legacy or contingency issues might arise. If we could just take a view from him on that to inform the budget deliberations.
Well, I'll second your proposal. So all in favour? That's everyone. Thank you. So number 26, to receive an update on the preparation work for the installation of the Muntjac deterrent fencing on the selected sites. Do we have an update?
Yes, so we've got an update on Kirkley Gardens specifically. So there is a work party that has already started works to sort of clear the site in question. So Mark anticipates that the fence can be ordered, and all being well, installation should begin next month on that. So yeah, that's the update we've got so far.
Yeah. Thank you. 27, to consider approval of a proposed site for a defibrillator at the Kirkley Garden allotments.
There was a meeting paper on this one, just with a sort of an image of it would be on a freestanding pole, So it would be on land that we own, but it is also sort of publicly accessible as well, even when the allotment site itself isn't open.
Oh, just outside the gate.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Andy?
So I read the meeting paper, and as it seems to be a consensus between staff and allotment association reps, I propose that we endorse the joint recommendation and approve that site.
I'll second that. So all in favour? That's everyone. Thank you. Oh, I've lost my agenda now. Back. Right, 28, to receive an update on the removal of trees at Fen Park allotments. So there is a note. Oh, is this the one with the sheds?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Johnny and Mark have met with the plot holders whose sheds are affected by the tree work. So those plot holders are emptying their sheds. The dimensions have been taken for replacements to be ordered. The costs and lead times for delivery will have to be brought back. I don't think we've got those at the moment, and then obviously we'll schedule tree works accordingly. Okay.
I thought there was only going to be one shed to be dismantled. Is there more sheds now, is there?
I think it might be. I think it might be 2.
I think it was always 2.
Oh, sorry,
Why do I
Betty.
think there was only one? Betty?
I think originally they did think there was only one, or that's the message that got through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they hadn't seen the site rep, so it was all a bit confusing. But
Yeah.
since then, he's been down, and there are 2 sheds.
There are
'Cause,
2
yeah,
sheds.
the site rep did say there are actually 2. If they're going to do this, there will be 2 sheds.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of your update. So in terms of the removal of the shed so the tree works can take place, is it like the existing sheds will be permanently removed and replacements ordered? It's not like removing and then reinstalling the existing sheds? Okay, and at what is that shared cost, our cost?
I think we agreed to pay for the
I think
at
we
least
did
one.
agree to pay for that, yeah, so we'll check that. But yeah, I don't think we've got the costs for the replacement, so we'll have to bring that back when we've got that, sorry. When we've got that.
Because I think the recommendation went to aid, didn't it? And I can't remember
Yes.
what aid decided, but I had a feeling.
We did decide to replace the sheds as it'd be more cost effective than buying to hiring the actual scaffolding
Yeah.
to do the work. It will just be cheaper to replace the sheds.
And
Fairly sure that was endorsed by the aid committee
That
that we
was.
would meet
I
that
thought it was
cost, yeah,
too,
but
yeah.
we can check.
Okay.
So number 29, to receive information from the chair of Lowestoft District Allotment Ltd on recently exposed asbestos on one of the sites. Betty?
Yeah, it's on Normanston. It's just you get new tenants and they are more thorough, or they spot something which the previous tenant had just thought, well, you know, I've lived with this for 20 years, I expect I should live a bit longer. And I brought it up and I thought that we had agreed that Gloucester Town Council would pay for the asbestos removal. If that's not a fact, that is absolutely fine and we will pay for it. But I've not done anything about it until.
Okay. Andy?
we certainly have historically. If Neil was here, he would tell you, I wasn't the councillor at that time, he will tell you in 2017-18 it was resolved on all sites. But when I was a councillor in 2019, in my first year, we did a quite major removal from Normanston Parks. And I think technically there was some question at the time as to whether it was our responsibility under the lease. And we took the view that because actually you could not reasonably expect the Allotment Association to manage that liability on £1,000 a year administration fee. And you know, well, I think we just took the view that health and safety overrode jurisdiction and to remove it, and that has never been trying to think of the word beginning with R, but anyway, that's never been set aside or overturned. So as far as I'm concerned, that is still our position. I would I haven't actually got the budget attached to this document, so I can't actually see what we've got in the allotments reserve. I was just going to. We've certainly got enough in the reserve. I would say that we need to, I would propose that we approve the removal of this asbestos on health grounds, so with appropriate urgency, and I would propose that we give a delegation to staff up to the maximum amount that we as a subcommittee can delegate, which is 3,750. I have no idea what the cost will be, so if we just make that maximum budget available, and if it's £500, £700, that's what it is. But if we give the scope, and if the amount is going to be any more than that, that we ask Mark to come to aid next week, even if that means having to do a short notice reissue to put the item on there. Is that okay? I think to deal with it with the appropriate urgency in regard to safety, I'll make that as a proposal. Because we don't want members manhandling asbestos and trying to remove it themselves. It's not just an issue of the cost, it's the exposure.
Betty?
I assume somebody from the council will then contact a suitable company to remove the asbestos.
Yeah, it'd probably be who we've used before.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we've used the same company ourselves.
Yeah.
So, you know, once you have a date, so I can let Roger know.
Thank you. Well, I'll second that proposal. So all in favour? That's everyone. Thank you. Right. So date of the next meeting is to be confirmed due to scheduling of meetings in December. Would this be better to just move it to January to be on the safe side? Or if there's anything?
This was actually from one that was originally scheduled for the middle of this month, wasn't it?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
if we were to get back on schedule, we would probably, if it wasn't December and a week before Christmas, we would be looking at the middle of December somewhere, wouldn't we? So is it maybe worth looking at having one, if we're going to be crammed in the middle of December because all the meetings that would normally be in the second half of December have been brought forward?
Yeah.
Is it possibly worth scheduling one for end of November? So like 1 month away rather than 6 weeks,
Yeah.
rather than go another 6 weeks for that meeting?
Yeah, I mean, we could look at some dates, obviously, while we have members here, and obviously we can liaise with Councillor Colby as well.
I'd rather not just skip to January, because if we have one at the end of November, we've still got time to feed into the budget.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Didn't think of that.
So just looking at well, last week of November, if you wanted a Wednesday again, we've currently got an events and communications subcommittee meeting on the 26th of November, but we could do
About 10 or 10:30.
that's at 10, yeah. It depends if you wanted a Wednesday or not, because then looking at the Wednesday the 19th, I think you've got training at 10. But you could do an afternoon potentially.
Afternoon would be better.
Yeah,
And I can
and
work
again,
the mornings.
On the 26th as well, you could do an
The other thing
afternoon
I'll
of that.
say-
Should we ping some dates round
Yeah,
for you
but-
to
but,
all
I
have a
mean,
look
if I
at?
can
And
expect for at least she'd not worry which day it is, go for an afternoon, but just try and avoid a Wednesday.
yeah. So we'll perhaps look
Because
at
Monday
either
and
one of
Thursdays
those.
are harder.
Yeah, either one of those 2 weeks. Avoiding Tuesday, right? Yeah.
So
So
that
we'll
means Wednesday or Friday.
yeah, we'll ping some dates round.
Right, so I will close the meeting then. Thank you.